Hi, you guys. I wanted to wait till today to thank one of my Patreon supporters. I got this UPS today, and this is what he got me. I am thrilled. This is one of my favorite cookbooks from the 1990s, and this is a really good cookbook, and I believe it's out of print. So he got me a used one. It has got I have made so many recipes out of this. And what I did is I went to the library about 10 years ago and Xerox or made copies of a lot of the recipes, or I typed them. I think I typed them. And it's wonderful to have this cookbook because there's like a recipe in here called garlic potatoes, really good. And I'm going to go, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start making cooking videos. And when I cook a recipe, I'll let you watch me prepare the food. I usually modify them a little bit. Let me read you what he sent me. I hear this book has a lot of very good recipes. I heard a small, quiet voice in my head that said this would be a very good way for me to help you follow the Gail commandments. Ha! Times 3 from John Balcora, PhD, MD, Harvard. Yeah, this cookbook is really, really good. Every recipe that I have made from this has been a winner with my family. They've loved it. And it's a very good cookbook. And I think the reason it went out of print is because I used it so much. Satan's obsessed with me. Here's something else he got me. He ordered me some saffron. This is a very expensive spice, so I normally can't afford it right now. Spanish saffron, coupe quality, category 1. He got this for me off my Amazon wish list. John Balcora, thank you. And here's what he says. I hear you are an amazing cook. I hope one day you will be able to cook a big meal for all of your Church of Gail followers. From John Balcora, PhD, MD, Harvard. Oh, by the way, I made John Balcora Assistant Secretary of Health. So I'll check the U.S. President link underneath this video. And then I'm going to follow this up with a recipe. I have been posting cooking recipes to my Patreon supporters. And for $5 a month, you can, I'm making it available to all the patrons, $5 a month and up, the cooking videos. I also do daily blog videos. That's for the $10 and up supporters, where I talk about my life and things going on in my life on my walk. So, yeah. So anyways, I'm thrilled. This is going to be, I am back in business as a cook. I already have my cookware because the only thing that I might need is one of those big spoons, but that's okay. I'll just use a big tablespoon, so it's not a big deal. I have a soup spoon. I've got a big slotted spoon, but I mean like a big ladle spoon. That's okay. It's not a super big deal. And I'm not messing with my Amazon wish list because it appears Jesus has completely taken that over. I'm in good shape. I just use a big tablespoon. I'm good. I'm good. So, this is a wonderful cookbook. I used to be an international gourmet cook until I became this really freaking health nut. So anyways, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. I hope you enjoy the cooking video which follows. And I want to thank all my Patreon supporters, even some of them that have been from the past, who are special to me and who sacrificed of their time and money to support me. I just appreciate all of you. Some of you are in financial straits, so, and I know you can't help me, but I know your heart is still with me. And some of you have become like my friends, So anyways, thank you so much, John. You're awesome. And And this is these earrings. I like to wear these. Brett Spiner, my husband, got them for me. Aren't they beautiful? So thank you so much, and enjoy the recipe. Um, you can see more of this if you become one of my Patreon supporters for $5 a month, because I'm going to be making lots of cooking videos. Hi, you all. John Balcora got me this. I was going to wait for the UPS order to arrive, but I think I'm going to go ahead and make this cooking video public. He said, "I hear you are an amazing cook. I hope one day you will be able to cook a big meal for all your Church of Gail followers, from John Balcora, PhD, MD, Harvard." Thank you, John. You know, I was going to make arroz con pollo today, but I'm going to save this wonderful saffron. That's what this is. This is saffron. I'm going to save this for a day when I make arroz con pollo. I'm going to make lemon chicken. I'm going to make lemon chicken today. Let me get over here. And the reason for that is because I have some leftover brown rice, cooked brown rice that I need to use. And lemon chicken makes a wonderful sauce. And so let me go ahead and get the lemon juice ready. So I need to go ahead and, yeah, it uses about 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. Let me just use up all my lemons here so I don't waste them. Because I made it a point when I went grocery shopping to buy just enough for this recipe. Now the recipe does call for the use of oil. I'm going to skip on the oil. I'd really like to cut on fat. Oh, by the way, since I've been obeying Jesus' updated Gail commandments, I've noticed that I'm losing weight. I weigh now about 129 pounds. So going to bed earlier, I was basically eating food like comfort food. So, yeah, let's go ahead. Yes, let's go ahead and make some lemon juice for lemon chicken. Okay, let's see. Looks like we got this one pretty much squeezed. Let's go ahead and get this one. So when I went grocery shopping today, I basically got just enough for my recipes and no more. I usually have a bad habit of buying more than I need, which is a violation of the Gail commandments. And I'll have a link to the Gail commandments underneath this video. This video is going to go public. And I just want to let you all know, my public supporters here at my YouTube channel, that I have started featuring videos of my cooking. Like for my Patreon supporters got to watch me cut up a whole chicken. And I also showed them, I made a video where I was cooking tofu with wakame seaweed. And I made a tofu wakame seaweed salad. And I showed them how I did that. And then there was another dish I made called scrambled tofu that was, I featured. So I'm going to let you get a sample of some of the cooking videos that I'm featuring at my Patreon. I'm going to go ahead and use all this at the for the recipe. So I got 2 lemons. My total grocery bill came out to about $60, and hopefully it's going to last for 2 weeks. And I'm going to modify the recipe a bit. This is a 1981 Better Homes and Garden recipe that I loved and that I used to make a lot in the 1990s. Though I've always modified it a bit. I always take the fat off the chicken and I cut up a whole chicken. And I'm going to use half of that whole chicken for arroz con pollo and the other half for lemon chicken. So today is my lemon chicken day. And yesterday, the day before yesterday, I went grocery shopping. And yesterday I washed my romaine lettuce and I made some lettuce with, some salad with romaine lettuce, carrots, celery. I had some celery that I needed to use. So basically I'm trying not to waste groceries, so anything that could rot, if I don't use it soon, I'm trying to make recipes. So right now, today's lemon chicken day. All right, that's it. All righty. Okay, looks like we pretty much have this one squeezed. Let's go ahead and squeeze the last bit of the lemon here. And then I will have some nice fresh lemon juice. I could have bought the reconstituted lemon juice, but Jesus' rule is to buy no more than you need for 2 weeks, and there's nothing like the taste of fresh lemon in these recipes. They really taste good, so I think Jesus is trying to get me to quit making myself suffer. He said, Gail, you live with clutter and boxes because you think you don't deserve anything better. And he said, when you go grocery shopping or do any type of shopping, I don't want you to buy anything that lasts longer than 2 weeks. Just buy enough for 2 weeks. I think he's also possibly preparing me to move to be with my husband, Brett Spiner, maybe. And he said it'll be a lot easier to move if you don't. He's instructing me to pare down my apartment. So every day I throw out anything that I don't use. So I'm paring down. And already the place is looking better, but I've got so much stuff that I've accumulated. I've been here since 2004. Okay, it looks like I've pretty much got the lemon juice here. Let me go ahead and end this for right now. I almost forgot where I put my garlic. I stored it in a paper bag because I wanted it to last longer. And in my old days, I used to always stick garlic in the refrigerator, but they say it's better to store it in a paper bag in a dark, dry place. And boy, it looks really fresh, so apparently. But I need to get 1 clove, and I'm going to crush it for this recipe. All right, let's get that garlic clove out of here now. Come on, Jesus. I'm going to take some of this paper thin. Here we go. There we go. Got 1 clove there. Several cloves, actually. I could use more. Sometimes I'll use more than 1 clove. I mean, you don't have to follow the recipe exactly. Let me rinse this knife off. This is actually a pretty simple recipe, but it's very tasty. It's pretty simple, but very tasty. I still have to go through my Microsoft Excel worksheet and enter all the food items I bought. I like to do that to see if I'm staying within budget. But I only spent about $60 on my last grocery bill. Can't complain about that. So, oops. So let's go ahead and take the skin off the garlic. Obviously, we got to do this. Get the clove out here. Ooh, that smells good. You know, I've been using garlic powder for my recipes, but boy, there's nothing like fresh garlic when you're cooking. You say, why'd you do that? I don't know. I used to be a real gourmet cook, and I'm not saying I didn't use garlic powder, but if the recipe called for fresh garlic, I should use fresh garlic. Okay, let's go ahead. What I used to use for this was a knife that was really heavy and smashing it. But there's a way to smash garlic. I mean, the recipe calls for crushed cloves. Kind of go like this. Just kind of crush it. I think that's so the garlic juice will escape into the chicken juices as it's baking in the oven. It's going to be baking at 350. So let's just see if we can crush it. Yeah, let's go this way. If you have like a really heavy knife, that'll work too. Anything heavy. There we go. It's crushed. Let's crush this. Yeah, I think 1 garlic clove will be sufficient because I'm not using that much chicken either. I'm modifying the recipe somewhat. Okay, there we go. Let's crush this. Yeah. What was really funny is I made a pasta primavera, an Italian recipe using garlic and squash that I cut in like matchsticks. And Jesus made a copy of that recipe for all the men at Church of Gail. And he had some himself. Jesus just cracks me up, man. He's so proud of all the qualities I developed to try to be a good wife to my husband that he likes to boast about them. So he's really proud of me for that, I've noticed. Like back when I was a newlywed, I wanted to be a perfect wife, perfect church wife to my husband, so I learned how to cook, which apparently Jesus cooked really good, actually. Okay, there it is, crushed garlic. Now let's go ahead and assemble all the stuff in the baking pan. So, okay, the recipe says in a bowl, combine the lemon juice, oil, garlic, and pepper. I'm going to omit the oil because I'm this freak about not using too much oil. I like to be skinny. The recipe called for 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. I think I've got plenty here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it also called for 2 tablespoons of oil. In place of the oil, I'm going to use more lemon juice. Let's make good use of this. Now, what do I do with all this lemon juice? Should I, let me take this seed out here. Boy, I got lots of lemon juice here. What should I do with this? I don't have to follow the recipe exactly. Okay, let's go ahead and add the garlic. You can see it right there. Okay, and we'll throw in some pepper. I don't know what I'm going to do with this lemon juice. I could store it in a jar in the refrigerator, and maybe next week, actually I think I might freeze it. Can you freeze a jar? I might store it in a jar and freeze it, but I don't know. Then I'll have it for next week. Let's throw in some pepper. Yeah, that's good. And then we're going to combine it all together. Let's get a fork. Let me think about this. So let's kind of like mix that all together. I'm omitting the oil because the chicken's got a lot of fat on it, even though I de-skinned it. Okay, I think what I'm going to do with that is store that in a little jar. Do I have a little jar that I can use, Lord? I need just a tiny weeny jar. A teeny weeny little jar. Yeah, this is kind of a tiny little jar. We'll use this. Okay, what I'm going to do is, since I got more than enough lemon juice, probably enough for another lemon chicken recipe, we'll go ahead and throw this in here. Ah, my daily blog video just finished. And we'll store that in the refrigerator. And I wish I had a smaller jar than that. I know what, I'll store it in the part of the refrigerator that's really, really cold, where it almost freezes. And then that way this will be good for maybe a couple more weeks. Store it back here. Yeah, right there. Yeah. So next time I make lemon chicken, that'll be all ready for me. Okay. This is a chicken that I cut up the other day from a whole chicken. I de-skinned it. What I decided to do was use a leg, a thigh, half of a back, and a wing. And I'm going to use the other half for arroz con pollo for another day. So what you do now is you pour this mixture over the chicken. There we go. And then you cover the chicken. And I felt like this is the perfect size for this. I used to use this to make meatloaf. You cover the chicken. This seals the juices in while it's baking. Now we'll bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, let's just go ahead and set that. Cover it real good. Now the recipe says to occasionally lift it to baste it, but I usually don't bother. But even though the recipe says to bake it for 40 minutes, I think I'm going to go almost to an hour, simply because some of the chicken pieces are kind of frozen. And I want to make sure that I really cook it good, because I had to defrost it in the microwave. Okay, I'm going to set the oven for 350, like the recipe calls for. And yeah, I have a little oven here. Okay, so it's in there, and it's going to bake for about an hour. Yeah, I just shut the door. It's going to bake for about an hour. Let me go ahead and set the alarm so I don't forget about it. Okay, here it is. I took it out of the oven after about an hour. Let me just make sure there's no blood and that it's cooked thoroughly, because some of the meat was a bit frozen. looks like it's good. I'm going to take some of this meat off so that I can mix it with my rice. Oh, this looks really good. I didn't follow the recipe exactly. I usually leave it covered the whole time because I like this liquid. It makes great rice sauce. You pour it over white rice. So what I'm going to do is take it off the bone and kind of so that I can make this last for a couple days. Let's see. Yeah, let's see here. And what you can do if you're concerned about the fat content, like I am, when you refrigerate this, you can skim some of the fat off, and because the fat will harden and float to the top. So I'm going ahead and taking a lot of this off of the bones, especially on the pieces that have a lot of meat. And this way, I can kind of like, I actually enjoy eating some of the organ meat in here. See this right here? I actually like eating that. I remember that. So that's one advantage of cooking a whole chicken. You get to enjoy the organ meat. I like that. Here's the wing. Let's go ahead and take some of the meat off of this. It's cooked. Hours, perfect. This is the thigh. Now I always cook it with this. I always, when I cut my chicken up, all right, let's see if I can get this. Probably should use a knife, but this will work. I just like to have it kind of like this. Yeah, it looks cooked. Yeah, that's nice. It's been a while since I've had chicken. Jesus is trying to get me to eat like I used to eat. The only difference is, one thing that I'm doing now that's saving money is, even though I do eat meat, I eat less meat than most Americans eat. Americans usually eat far more meat than they need to eat. So I'm kind of like the Japanese style with meat. Just a little bit. I kind of like use meat for spice. Okay, this is good. Let me take off more meat off of this. What I'm doing is taking the meat off the bone. And I'll let you know, I didn't use any salt with this, so knowing me, I'm probably going to use some salt when I eat this. Let me take more meat off the bone. I'll go ahead and enjoy some chicken skin, chicken fat, I mean, on the wing. Actually gives it kind of a nice flavor. I'm certainly not in danger of getting fat. I'm losing weight on Jesus's forced regimen where I have to be in bed by 9 o'clock. I have a tendency to be a real pig. And I admit that I eat food as comfort food, and I have a thin bone structure, and I'm about 5'6½". So the ideal weight for my bones would be anywhere between 123 to 100 and maybe 34 pounds, because I have a small bone structure. So my current weight at 129, and that's with no clothes on, is actually an ideal weight. So I don't need to worry about my weight. Okay, and if I go even lower, that's not dangerous. I'm in the average range for my height, so I'm fine. And it's not like I'm starving myself. I don't have the problem of starving myself. I eat like a pig. Because I've had a tendency to eat as comfort food, and Jesus is trying to get me out of that. It sounds like Jesus wants me to be super hot for Brent on our wedding day. That's what it sounds like. And he says, I got to get her to quit eating like comfort food, and then I can give her back that model figure. Even though I know she's not obsessed about it, I'd like her to look really hot for her husband, because I think she's hot. Okay, now let me go ahead and put some of this. Oh, I need to warm up the rice. Let me warm it up in the microwave. Okay, here's the rice. This is leftover rice, but it's still good. Now, let's go ahead and take some of this chicken out. I probably should, put some of this on top of the rice. I should use a bigger spoon than this. And I'll let you know how, I'm sure it's good because I've had this before. I get a bigger spoon. The reason I like this dish is because the lemon puts a really nice flavor, and it's great over rice. And it makes a wonderful sauce. A great way to get your protein. It makes a wonderful sauce. Oh, I might throw in one of these bones here. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. There you go. That's good. Now, let's go ahead and put this away. Yeah. Oh, here it is. It's still hot, so I need to move it maybe someplace where, yeah, we'll put it over here. And then I'll store it and eat leftovers some other day. So it's been a while since I've had this. I kind of miss my old food here. Say what time? It's about 2:11. I probably should show my face, but let me see if I can get this to change here. There we go. I think it's gonna, let's go back this way. Nope, this way. All right. I think my face is in here. All righty. I know I'm gonna want salt, but let's go ahead. I've always loved it. It's good. A little bit of salt. It's already got pepper in it. What I like to do is add just enough salt to give it flavor, not enough to drown it. Being half Japanese, I tend to be a saltaholic anyway. I like it. So, yes, it's really good. And it gives the rice a nice lemony flavor. Now, I omitted the oil. It would probably taste better with the oil, but, you know, I don't want the fat. Good. Delicious. Simple, but delicious. Very good. I don't follow the recipe exactly. I'll have a link underneath this video for the recipe. And if you want to follow me, every time I make a dish, a lot of times when I make a dish, I'm going to make a video showing you how I prepare it. So you can, but those will be mostly Patreon's only videos, but I'm giving you a sample of, so you can watch me, and if you want, you can make these dishes yourself. They're great money savers, because I don't spend a lot of money on groceries. And I'll show you how I do it. How you can spend very little money on groceries and eat healthy and cheap and delicious. Okay. It's good. A little more salt. So, this is kind of like a brunch for me. I actually miss this dish. Really good. I just want to thank all of my patrons, and I love hanging out with you on our Friday night hangouts, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for your support.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey Gail, I heard something special today. I spoke to Santa's elves, and this is what they say. The reindeers are ready with presents on the sled, and Santa's coming to see you when you're snuggled up in bed. Sing the happy Christmas song, reach up and tickle the stars. Sing the happy Christmas song, now bend and wiggle your bum. Smile and let the whole world know that you are having fun. Sing along with me to Gail's Christmas song.